Today we'll look at sights seldom seen. Thanks for being here. God bless and welcome. One of my favorite things to do is check out maps. And this map tool is probably one of the greatest things they've given us. And a lot of parts, especially around the edges where they don't permit travel, things get kind of blurred out. A lot of the oceans blurred out, but otherwise pretty good. I don't think these images come from satellites. I don't believe in satellites. I don't see them, and I've looked at the stars intimately, the sky, for 20 years now. Just part of the landscape. But one of my favorite things is these grids, the old footprint underneath the cities. The cities take advantage of these layouts, many subdevelopments built on this circuitry. As we can see here in Pahrump, Nevada. Just a wasteland, but yet something surviving. Even here we can see flowage, and it doesn't intrude with these patterns. There's some more over here in California City. California City, in the middle of this cooked out wasteland, and we can see that same circuitry. And they're trying. They have been trying for 100 years to get people to move out here and cover up this circuitry, sell it off as neighborhoods, but it's not happening. Here they've packed a little section, really packed them in like sausages, now providing a charge. And these are some of my favorite examples because they're just pretty clear in my opinion. No fool would lay out a subdevelopment like this unless they were mad. No, but I like it. I mean, it's intelligent design, and it would be very difficult to lay out and to survey, but once it's here, there's no reason not to develop it. In the same pattern, no shrubs or trees grow on these lines. And here we can see a super straight Peruvian line jutting out from the city by the dump, of course. Dumps, golf courses, mines. Really a small dump. It doesn't look so dumpy. But anyway, this Peruvian line shooting out from out of the town, and we can follow and follow and follow, and here we go. We start to see a little more undeveloped, pretty much buried and cooked out, but we still see the circuit pattern. And then here we go. Boom. This mega undeveloped circuit footprint. And I don't know, this is so mind-blowing that I feel very comfortable saying I don't know. I always feel comfortable saying I don't know. But anyway, nobody can say they came out here and did this, especially when it exhibits the same pattern as we can see all throughout the realm. And these first examples are just some that I found on my own. There is a master by the name of Gary Shunung, and we've looked at the work of Gary before, but maybe it's been a year or two. And I think Gary somehow, either through curiosity like myself, or through assignment, discovered thousands upon thousands of sites like this. Super anomalous sites. God, I should stretch this out a little. Forgive me. It's a little better. So instead of telling you what I think, I'd rather tell you what Gary has to say here. Gary the man. And I'd rather just play some of his video in the corner here in fast speed so we can impress as much of his discoveries into your being as we just read what Gary has to say. Now that people have had some time to look at the material I've posted, I will share my analysis of what all of this could mean. The videos are pieces of one large video titled From the Brink of Extinction, Ruins of Old Earth. The reason that we can't understand how ancient people with no technology, machinery, or even decent tools could have accomplished what they seem to have been able to do is very simple. They didn't do it. They occupied and used what was available to them from before a near extinction event occurred. And that's it. And this is from August 2012. Here, Gary has come up with the same conclusions. In 2012, a reset inheritors, primitive inheritors that could have not built the sites and wonders and cities that they now occupy. Some of what they used had become exposed by time and erosion, and he talks about the same things we do, the way we look at the Greco-Roman buildings and then push that even further back. Same hand building the same way. He says what is left at Stonehenge could be the center support structure of an ancient dome-shaped building. And I agree. All the ruins, even what is almost unrecognizable, are more advanced than they should be for the time period, for the people occupying the areas. Here he says we've wondered why we can't find evidence of what hit ground in Crater National Park, but have we ever wondered how it could blast a square hole in the ground? And this is 2012. It would be interesting to talk to Gary. Is he still on board with the flying bull? Here he's showing us what is advanced grid systems, and these create water almost as if they were water distribution points, now just cooked. We have them in Utah. Of course they're everywhere, and that's what I love about this man's work. And here he's showing us what looks like New Mexico, Chaco Canyon. Oh, definitely Chaco Canyon. Here a site, another. And what he may not have realized, and he may, is that the very mountains and rocks are also structure, rendered. And I think he does, and that's why he's showing us this. He is absolutely seeing the intelligence in this now looking cooked out site. Now let's look at something else. So next I want to talk about a few ancient sites that have really been underappreciated in my opinion. This is not it, although this is unappreciated as well. The complex engineering we see over the border here is the same thing that we're talking about today. An old grid, an old circuit board. And here we can see that. I mean, just bustling. Everything south of the border is laid out even more complexly than just north of it. And we can again see traces of the same thing that hasn't been covered up. We see the covering up of Star Fortage with golf courses, not even very nice ones. What is this, trash in the middle? And here again, everything showing signs of something that's been totally wiped out. I had planned on jumping back in and going south and exploring all of Mexico. I mean, it really took me on a wild ride how absolutely everywhere this is. But for a quick moment here, I want to look at some of the ruins of Cambodia. Now, we've seen it before, but have we really appreciated how absolutely advanced and in ruins these works are? So there's this place called the Plain of Jars. Giant pots, or what they're calling jars, or what? I think it's not what they tell us. It's been proposed by giant tree theorists that these might be like petrified fruit or berries, and I can appreciate that and have suggested it in the past. But when we look at this one here, we see this intelligently made bevel like a vessel. But of course nothing in this realm is what it seems, because everything has been petrified or rendered something else, some other material, through intense baking or a past reset. And it's not so crazy. I mean, all the pieces to the puzzle are here. Oh, how did it get so hot and cook? Well, there was a campaign. Again, just putting their puzzle pieces together. Here we have this beautiful, but kind of unknown Plain of Jars, and just megaliths everywhere. We're just getting started. And then we have this Operation Barrel Roll. Look here, the History Channel, maybe. Why has this country been cooked more than any other country? Why? They're asking this question in 2023. And I made a video on it. I'm not sure which one it is. In between 1964 and 73, the Americans dropped over 2 million tons of cluster bees over Laos. More than all the bombs dropped in WW blank combined. And in my past video, I remember it was around the clock carpet cooking for years. Several years around the clock. You saw it there. More than WW combined. The most blasted in history. So what the hell? What are you doing out here? What the hell? Here you can see it today. Little shacklings. Really rough. And here some of the litter left behind. I don't remember it being called Operation Barrel Roll. But this all was concurrent with Nam. Here we go. And we know Nam was a false flagger. Oh, they bombed a ship. Then Nam. So Nam, we have the same thing. Just spraying and destroying a nation. And right next door, a little side hustle. Always the side hustle. Side hustle is 260 million being dropped on poor little Laos. What's going on in Laos? So here we can see Nam, North Nam. Here in the middle is the site of the largest operation of cooking and terraforming. And I have no doubt the cooking and terraforming is going on everywhere. Even here in Utah it was going on before people would have time to realize. North Nam, down here we see South, we see Thailand, and then down here Cambodia. This was very important use of tax dollars. And here we are today at the site of the Plain of Jars. I mean, what could be left after 200 million devices being dropped all around here? Surprised it's so green and looks so nice. But otherwise, nothing should exist. At a quick glance, it looks like what we would be told are rice paddy fields. There we go. That's the excuse over there. Everything rice paddies. So much rice. And I don't know. Here we see this area, and really a great area, and we really wouldn't think anything of it were it not for the recent tourist type of discoveries, these megaliths, these giant pots. And there is no part of this realm where I haven't found this to be the case. Even out here in what would seem to be the middle of nowhere, we discovered in a past video that this area was victim to a great cooking. All of these islands, what they call the Marshall Islands, and today there's elitists living out on these islands. And if satellites were real, this would be a very, very sad display of their capabilities. So all of this is a region. According to old maps, this would be east of Tartaria. And not far away we have Indonesia. Well, it's pretty far away, but essentially this area is just a absolute paradise. This is probably some of the greatest land. And what can be revealed out here? What has been lost? What stories will they give us? Here we go. Here we go. So this is just waiting for a history, for a people, for development, and yet this is all the footprint, just as we see everywhere. Even out here in the middle of nowhere, we find these complex grid systems, and in this case totally uninhabited. Here this was a mega city at one point. Here we go. Laid out, engineered to perfection. And let me just show you again where we are. In the middle of Indonesia. Let's zoom back in and drop a pin. I think I spelled Indonesia wrong, but who cares? Now let's look at some of the ruins and megaliths of Indonesia. Here, this is titled The Mysterious Ancient Pyramid. Okay. These really interesting characters all over. Here we can get a closer look. Here, more structures that resemble the clay pots I was just showing you in Laos, a place that was heavily bombed. So here again we have giant clay pots. These are clearly not berries, and very advanced out here in the jungle. And a lot of sites like this almost looks like basalt, but I think basalt is a condition, again, aftermath of a reset. And we're not going to spend all day, but I did think it was important to tie some of these puzzle pieces together, because it does all tie together. What is revealed in one little corner of the realm seems to be the case everywhere. I hope that my videos are upbeat. I try to be. I mean, there's so much in the world to bring you down, and I always try to look at the bright side of life. I think whoever discovered these ruins and removed the dirt from them was also looking at the bright side, not building a golf course on top of them, but revealing them for us to ponder and make sense of. And I like to continue their work, essentially trying to make sense of everything. I found this place a couple hours away from my house. I didn't quite make it out here, but I got pretty close. Maybe I approached the gate of the old city. Definitely on my bucket list. And this is kind of the gate here. Back here you can actually see the I-70, this line here. We see a truck or a van, and it cuts through the most amazing landscape, cooked out ruins in my opinion. And I think it ties in beautifully with this video. When you see the way that this road winds through these, what we would be told are sandstone formations, there's no way. Let me just show you a peek. So this is it, cutting through this. No way. The cut was already here, and Chief and I were right at this rest area. Once you cross this rest area, you will not be able to turn around for 30 miles legally. The next turnaround point is right here, and that's exactly what we did. We stopped here for a little bit. There's a nice view of this mountain. I believe it's called Temple Mountain. And this was another great rest area right here on top of this mesa with a view of all of this. I'll inject a picture if I can. I thought of camping there for the night, but ended up driving back to Green River here. So for today, I thank you for joining me. I love you all. God bless, and I'll see you next week.